G'day Crustacean Nation, Sir Prawnalot here with another video. Today I'm going to be talking and ranting a little bit about Gumtree and my latest sort of sale and issue that I had on it. If you weren't aware or you didn't catch the stream, I was selling 30 of these guppies to somebody on Friday during the stream, and I was catching them up on the stream and stuff like that, so I'll put some clips up here. Also, I said to the person that because they're ordering 30 or they're getting 30 of them, that they're going to get some young ones because I don't want to give away all my adults and things like that. So 15 into 30 into 2 bags. So I'll have 15 in one part and 15 in another. We're off to a great start though. We've got 3 in already. The reason I love being able to prep a bit earlier is I can tell the person to come earlier if they're ready to pick them up. So if they're like waiting for the time, they can come, but if not, it's fine as well. You all guys. I don't think I will separate them. I'll just catch out 15 when I catch them out. There's a few tiny little fry in there as well, but majority of them are quite large, which is good. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on, but what's up now, Aquamate? Oh, Sir Prawnalot. I will be putting it up here at some point. I just need to do some more cord management. Cuted. Which one? Oh my... That was totally all my fault just then. Because I tapped it. Why did I tap it? I don't think blue tack is the way for things like this. But that worked. It's all Aquamate's fault. So as you can see, I was pretty excited and pretty happy to be selling the guppies via Gumtree. I've done it before, and this was going to be my biggest sale of the guppies. So it took me a while to catch all of them up, and I was counting and making sure I had them all. I had them prepped like an hour before, I had to sell them. They were in a breeder box just sitting there, and I was pretty keen. I was, waiting out. The time came, and the guy didn't rock up. He was meant to come at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, he said. So he said 2 to 3, I'll be around then. 2 o'clock came, nothing, so I just thought he was going to be late. So I waited until like 3:40, which was 40 minutes after like the latest he said he would be. And I got no response for quite a while. Before 2, I actually messaged saying the guppies are ready, you're allowed, you're welcome to come earlier if you need to. But they'll still be fine, whenever you want to get them. So he finally replied saying, oh, can I meet you halfway? And I don't actually drive a car, so I couldn't meet him halfway, so I said, no, let's just stick to the original plan. That's another thing with Gumtree, you try and, or at least I try and explain exactly what you want from them and what, you're going to do. So when I sell guppies, I don't let people come into the house and choose the guppies. I say, I'll choose the best ones. I'll try and make girl and boy if you want a mix, or you can have whatever you want, just request it. And usually they request it pretty well, and how many and how much it's going to be. And pretty much I'll talk about it for a while and we'll be chatting. And then at the end, I'll be like, all right, so to summarize, it's sort of like a receipt, I guess. Like it's going to be, 10 guppies for however much money and all that sort of stuff. And so I've done that multiple times. It's always worked out fine. And there was one time that I was selling something else when the person just didn't show up at all, didn't reply. That was my first bad experience, but this has been my first bad experience with the live fish. And there's a few issues that come with selling live fish from it. So obviously the fish were in the bags for quite a while. Every now and then I would open it up and release it and stuff like that. But I think I was there from 1 o'clock, they were already in the breeder box. And then at about 2:30, I decided to bag them up because the person hadn't responded, so I thought they were going to be late. And then from 2:30 till 3:40, they were in a bag. Then I opened up the top of the bags, just let them rest a bit, sort of moved them around just so the water moved a bit and stuff like that. They got airflow. And then I think it was up until 5 o'clock. They were just in these bags waiting, and the guy was not messaging, not looking at my messages. Then he would message something oh, can we do it for cheaper and things like that. And I was like, you're not even here. If you rocked up, maybe I would be able to make a deal. But I was getting, a bit peeved off. During this time, so from like 2 o'clock till 5, someone else messaged me and said they wanted 10 guppies. And so I actually caught up 10 guppies, bagged them up, everything like that, had them ready. Person rocked up. I actually thought they were the other person who was getting the 30 guppies, and I brought the wrong guppies out, and then I swapped around, and then I had a chat with them, sold them all within the time that this other person was meant to rock up just to collect the guppies. So we had organised a few days ago when this was all going to happen. Now, obviously, things can happen and people can, get caught up and get late. And I give a lot of people time. Like I said, I gave 40 extra minutes for this person to rock up and they didn't even say anything. And they weren't even on their way. So it's sort of like these, I don't know what they're thinking or what's going on with these people, but it's just kind of horrible. I do also try and check where the person lives or what area they live in my city. So if they're on like a faraway area, I will, account for the fact they have to travel pretty far, and I won't think, oh, if they're 5 minutes late, where the hell are they, sort of thing. I'm not stressing too much when they're 40 minutes late or an hour late and not responding and not looking at my messages, or looking at my messages and then not responding. Then it's clearly there's something else going on, and there's just a little bit of disrespect, I find. It's like if you say you're going to be somewhere and then you don't rock up and then you don't say anything, like, it's a little rough, isn't it? So long story short, I didn't sell the fish, and they're all still here. It was actually really weird. I didn't capture it on film, but when I added them back in, you could see which ones were in the bag and which ones weren't, because they were so like pale, like they had really lost their color from stress and stuff like that. And it was just kind of interesting to see, like, maybe like even that yellow one. Just imagine that yellow was like white, and then it came back in, and then it was coloring up fine. I didn't lose any fish; they're all well and healthy, so that's good. And I obviously have more to sell, but I'm sort of just holding off for a bit, and really sussing out who I'm actually selling to. Someone actually messaged me the other day, like on Saturday, and they were saying, "Oh, do you still have this for sale?" But they were from like a faraway area, and I just thought I'm not gonna deal with that again because I've had it happen multiple times now. So it really sucks. I also don't like people who try and like swindle me down a bit. The same guy that didn't get the 30 guppies also tried to swindle me, even though he was late and wasn't even coming and all that, which I found a bit silly. Obviously, if they're tight for money, they probably shouldn't be buying fish, and if they're not happy to pay my prices that I put up there, then they just shouldn't buy from me. I don't see, why you would really go along. Like, if I said, ask the price or whatever, if I said negotiable, then sure, but I have listed prices of what I want to sell them for. And depending on the item, sometimes I do sell it for cheaper, or depending on what it is. So there needs to be a bit more of a kind of etiquette that comes to Gumtree or Craigslist or things like that, I think. And it is not the greatest place to sell. So ideally, I would find a better way to sell these guys. Maybe, I don't know, just to pet shops or something. We'll see how it goes, but I don't really know. But that's just been my little rant. I hope you enjoyed, I guess. Just be aware if you are selling stuff on Gumtree or Craigslist or whatever, just that you keep an eye out and you be careful with it. The other thing is with these things, obviously you're meeting a person and you're having them come to your house, or you may be meeting them somewhere. Just be careful when you do meet with them, or if you're delivering them or something like that. You never know if it's some kind of scam or something's going on, and yeah, just be aware. Ideally, I'd be meeting them in like a car park in a shopping centre or something, just to trade the fish and stuff. But like I said, I don't drive, and that's probably much harder for me to do, just walking there or whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one.